It's
Race
Week! Woo! I feel like none of us were in time, and that was really chaotic.
Wait, woman who be thinking we soft, we don't play. Hope you're ready for the next episode. Hold up. Hey, woman who be thinking we soft, we don't play. We gon' rock it till the wheels fall off.
It's Race Week! Woo!
We survived.
We survived.
We made
it. As of today, as of day of filming, it's been 93 days.
Oh,
It's been 93 days since Formula One. Day this goes
The
up, it will
longest.
94. By the time race week actually begins, it will have been 95 days of no Formula One.
rest in
We're
peace.
back. We survived. And we did it. So welcome back to episode, Beth?
17.
17.
17?
Yeah, I think so.
17 of Lights Out, Let's Talk. Woo! We are getting up those numbers, guys. Okay. First thing that I want to address, just real quick, this is not just a per makeup decision. Lucy has a black eye.
You got into a bar fight.
I got into a
Gee,
bar fight.
You should see the other guy.
I was breaking up Max and Lando, and I got an elbow to the face. No, I got kicked in the face. All part of being a coach, a gymnastics coach. You get kicked in the face. And I got kicked in the face pretty damn hard, and I have a black eye from it. And I also have scratch marks on my face.
Live, laugh, don't love.
Because I got attacked by a child. And it's really humbling whenever someone goes, oh my God, what happened? And I'm like, I got attacked by a 4-year-old. It's really humbling. But at the same time, what am I meant to do? Just go, no!
Shove them
Yeah,
over.
you can't exactly push them back.
No, I literally just had to like hold his wrists and just be like, no, let's not. And he was like,
That's not what we do.
So yeah, Lucy's got a black eye. We're ignoring it. It's not a thing. The glasses cover it.
Yeah, you
It
can't.
does, yeah.
Only whenever I do that.
Yeah.
Or turn to the side.
So I feel like, well, yeah, the side, you see the scratches, which is actually really painful because it's like broken skin. It was way more painful when I had to clean it with an alcohol wipe.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That was fun, but I had to make sure I had no dirty child grime in my skin
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
because children be nasty. Anyway, we're moving on from that really swiftly. Okay, this week we have not. Oh my God, Max Futrell is live. Why does he do this to us?
He's actually such a hater. He
The
always does
second
it.
we start recording, Max like, let's go live. Okay, so this
Why can't
week,
Get rid of it.
not
Okay.
only is it race week, and not only is Max Futrell once again interrupting our recording, but we had the release of Drive to Survive.
Woo.
I know it's always controversial talking about Drive to Survive because I know a lot of people love it, a lot of people hate it. Personally, I'm just here for the tea. I'm here for Will Buxton.
Oh,
I'm here for the Buxtonisms. I wanna know what he comes out with. I
this
wanna
is
know.
the last season though with him.
You know what though? And I'm disappointed because we didn't get that many Buxtonisms.
We didn't know.
We didn't. We got some like funny moments, but we didn't get like Haas are in a really difficult spot right now. Like, not even bringing a knife to a gunfight; they're bringing a spoon. I wanted that, and I didn't get that, and I was disappointed by it. But yes, quickly though, before we get into our Drive to Survive notes, we are going to talk very quickly through what's gone down this week.
Other things.
So we have 24 years of Fernando Alonso, which is an insane amount of time.
That
Mans has been
Bro
racing
is
longer than
Older than us.
yeah, he's been racing longer than all of us have been alive.
Bro won his first championship the year I was born.
Beth. What year were you born?
2005.
Just if anyone wants to feel bad about their age. Because every time Beth says that to me, I feel ridiculously.
I always forget how like much of like a little baby you are.
That's just a little baba.
A little baby.
That's a little Bible. Yes, so slide to Fernando. I'm pretty sure Fernando made it into my Final Fantasy team. Let me see. Anyway, moving on. Go to your Final Fantasy teams if you have not yet. We have Lewis Hamilton's helmet won the fan vote for the favourite lid.
Fact.
I mean, it's pretty good.
Arguable. Adrian Newey has officially started working with Aston Martin.
Yep.
That's scary. We'll see how that goes.
It's interesting.
We have McLaren has been nominated for World Team of the Year from, I have no idea how to pronounce this.
I don't know either.
Sport. I'm going to assume it's French. It looks French. Might not be French. I've assumed it is. Max was also nominated for Sportsman of the Year. So many to go through. Red Bull have officially done 20 years in Formula One. This year is their 20th year debut. Debut? What?
Debut?
Pirelli have revealed their first 3 race cap designs for the podium.
Love.
Live, laugh,
They're
love.
so good.
Live, laugh, love. We have Kushmini has gotten the reserve driver for Alpine.
But how are Alpine affording all of these drivers? Are they expecting all of their drivers to like pass away?
Are racking up these reserve drivers.
I realize there's a typo on that. It's supposed to say test and reserve driver.
But
he still does get it. But they still have
like we've got Franco Colapinto, we've got Paul Aaron, we've got Kushmini.
There's
like,
another one I swear.
There's another one somewhere.
There is at least one more.
Like,
are they expecting the drivers to like be sick every weekend? Both of them. And then the reserve drivers are going to get sick, so they need reserve drivers.
Yeah, they need the reserve for the reserve for the reserve.
I think Alpine also said that Franco is going to be like the reserve driver.
Franco's in
for Australia. Yeah.
Give Paul Aaron a chance. Anyway, and then we also have former Red Bull mechanic Callum Nicholas is currently facing backlash for talking about a prank that went on within the Red Bull garages. Yeah, apparently he like left his laptop open or something like on the pit wall. No, he left his laptop in.
It was Jonathan. It was someone else. It was the top one of the top guys.
It was someone else's. Yeah.
There was a laptop left somewhere, and it was mirroring to the pit wall. And someone decided to play a video that was very much not safe for work.
Yes.
And yeah, there's a lot of backlash about it, that it's work sexual harassment and this, that, and the other. He tried to play it off as like it was just a harmless prank. People are up in arms about it, saying that it's not just a harmless prank. I don't even
know. I've seen him blocking people who have been saying that it's not just I've seen screenshots of him blocking people because of it.
How odd. What odd behaviour.
Odd behaviour.
It's just a little weird.
Just a tad odd. Like, maybe he saw it as a prank, fair enough, but like there were other people in the paddock that would have seen it that didn't consent to seeing that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's just...
So I can get the upset behind it, but at the same time, it was also many, 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 many years ago.
It was. And if he wouldn't have said it, people wouldn't have known and people wouldn't have been upset about it. It's just the fact that he...
This is
on a podcast,
another
right?
Twitter issue. That's my new song. I'm going to sing it every time that there's another Twitter issue.
Not Twitter, guys.
Let's not get that started on Twitter this week. Oh, so funny. Anyway,
moving on.
To Drive to Survive. Woo, woo. Yeah. I have some issues with it. We'll get into them. We're going to go episode by episode with our notes. Yeah. Although I do have just an overarching note that just says Horner worries more about other teams than his own. Every time he's shown, he's about another driver or team.
Fact.
That's just my overarching quote that I have written in bold. Anyway, we have episode 1 titled Business as Usual, which was all about Lewis to Ferrari. To which I just have in capital letters, I am a child of divorce.
Fair.
Because they showed Carlos and Charles, and I was just like,
I think that's where. Let me get it.
I I also had like Danny Rick with the crying emoji because they showed them all getting like their team photo for the year, and Danny Rick was there. I was like, I can't do
Bro,
this.
they were having so much fun. Hashtag Logan feature in that episode, guys.
Oh my
Logan
gosh.
feature.
Yay.
Yes. I also have just some funny quotes that went on with it, where it was Alex Albon getting the team photo saying, I feel like I'm on the Teletubbies. That really made me giggle.
Love.
Alex and his unhinged one-liners this season were
Jeez.
brilliant. They were brilliant.
Chef's kiss.
As they should. I have a kid asking Toto Wolff what he does at Mercedes.
That was
Wait,
so...
I thought the kid asked him what he wanted to do at Mercedes.
No.
Was it what he...
Like, what do you do?
What do you do at
Oh,
Mercedes? He was like walking around the Mercedes gear and he was like, what do you do at Mercedes? Like, I can't remember what his answer was. I think he said like he was a mechanic or something.
I think it was something along those lines. It was so funny.
And the kid had no interest. He was like, oh, okay. And then just walked away.
Do you know what? That just it reminded me of the one later on with George and the kid, or George and the man. And the guy was like, oh my
Yes.
God, Lando Norris. And he turns around and he goes, I'm not Lando Norris.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the Mercedes game. Maybe it's just
that's it. That's
Mercedes
it.
issue.
And then I also have featured in the first episode was Carlos racing 16 days after his emergency surgery and goes out and wins.
Which is insane still.
Still, no matter how long it's been since that happened, coldest moment of the year. Coldest moment of the year.
Wow, that unlocked the first one of my cry count with Carlos winning in Australia.
Oh yeah, Beth cry counter for Drive to Survive.
These were my notes.
Yeah, Beth's notes for Drive to Survive were quite complete. Like the difference is that I have everything. You can't even see it. I have everything bullet pointed out, episode by episode.
I have a cry count. and notes for 3 episodes.
To be fair, I have got like bits in brackets being like Defo didn't cry. So yeah, episode 1, honestly, it didn't wow me. It was very much setting the scene. Like the main news headline of this year was Lewis to Ferrari.
Yeah,
I did like the cover of the Christian Horner thing. I feel like they did that quite well.
I feel like they did that respectfully as well. Because they had the power that those screenshots were sent to all of the media, so technically they had the power to release those, and they didn't.
Yeah, I think they did quite well.
I think it covered a lot. I think it answered a lot of unanswered questions that people had with it. Personally, I actually didn't know. I knew about the Christian Horner scandal, obviously, and I knew that stuff was going on behind the scenes. So, like, I knew that they'd opened with like an internal investigation, which was then shut down, and then I knew that the media started speaking again about it, but like very briefly, and then that was shut down very quickly. And I didn't know what went on there. So I actually didn't know that a cache file of WhatsApp messages were sent out to all the media. I did not know that had happened.
All the media,
that's pretty crazy, though.
I respect
that scene. You know, when they were talking about how the message was sent, it was like all the bings cut into different people in the paddock.
Yeah.
I did really enjoy that. I thought that was smart.
A bit of drama.
And I think the investigation is still currently ongoing. I think next beginning of next year it's supposed to go.
Next January 2026. It's supposed to go to court.
Yeah.
Which is why the British media aren't allowed to speak on it anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Episode 2, titled Frenemies. This episode made me cackle.
Oh my God, yeah.
This episode made me cackle. They quite literally just, like, I've seen a lot of controversy about this episode, that it's not taking Lando seriously as a driver. Lando did this to himself. Anyway.
There's some good bits in this episode.
So this episode was all about Max versus Lando. Was there ever a Max versus Lando? Let's be real. In my delusion there was, but realistically, not really. But yes, this was all about the Max versus Lando drama, which we obviously knew was going to be featured because it was such a highlight of the season. I just have in all capitals the jump cut with Max has a complete you attitude. And that's not Lando. Cuts to Lando with a puppy, spinning in a circle, kicking a football, and falling.
If that doesn't sum up Lando as a whole, I don't know what
This
does.
is what I mean. Like, Lando fans are out here trying to be like, Drive to Survive aren't taking Lando seriously as a driver. And I was like, okay, like, valid, but also, like, Lando is known as comedic relief.
That's just him as a person.
Lando is known as the silly, goofy driver, and Lando himself has said this in interviews where he has said, like, he's gone on to speak about it, and he was like, you know, there's times where you're in the paddock and you're messing about and you're having a good time, and people are looking at you like, this guy's not taking it seriously. And he's like, but I am taking it seriously. I'm just allowed to have fun. And I respect it. And honestly, I would rather support a driver that doesn't have a complete attitude. I like it. I like my little puppy spinning in a circle, falling on his face, Lando. I thought the jump cut was hilarious. I thought it was really, really funny. I'm also pretty sure this is the episode that had the jump cut with, you have a bit of a party boy attitude, don't you? And he was
Those
like,
were also so good.
Him on the boat. So funny. So funny. And then he was like, and then it cut again. And then he was like, no. He does have a party boy reputation, but once again, DJ Lando, that was what did it.
Bring it back.
I love it. You know what? Go have fun. If you're not working, if you're off that weekend, go have fun. Why are people
He's in his 20s. He should be allowed to have fun.
What's wrong with having a party attitude? If he was 25 in university, nobody would be looking at him going like, oh, you're going out on a party.
It's because he's a driver.
So,
exactly.
I drive. I'm allowed to drink alcohol. As long as I'm not getting in the vehicle within 12 hours, 24. Depending on how much I drink. Like, I drive a car. It might be a Vauxhall Corsa, but I drive a car.
I drive a car.
Like, leave him. If he wants to go have fun, if he wants to go out and party, let him. He's 25. Get over it.
Let him live his life. Right, we only have 2 Christ episode.
And then, I do have in all caps, Miami, baby! And then in brackets, definitely didn't cry.
I got one, and when they showed Lando in his little cart.
Yes, baby Lando.
Baby Lando.
It's just a
So another thing, I don't know if this is in your notes at any point, but no more Danica Patrick in Drive to Survive this season. We got Jensen Button instead.
Jensen!
War is over.
Blessed. I do have that written somewhere because I have Jensen realizing that Lando No Wins was a
silly nickname.
And he was like,
I didn't even know that.
But moving on. My next note is just Christian Horner hurts my feelings off. So I don't know what that's for, but something.
Was it the was that later? When did Christian say that Zach was a prick?
That was later.
No, it's like
calls Zach a prick very early on.
So maybe was that the moment?
Zach calls him out for something. No, it was on the Christian Horner allegations where Zach said that he hopes it's a very open investigation and that it's made unknown to the public. And
then Christian was like, you find out who your friends are.
Yeah. Like I don't know what Christian did in episode 2, but he apparently hurt my feelings. So here we are. Episode 3 is titled Looking Out for Number 1, which is all about Lewis leaving Mercedes. But then I do have a note that says Silverstone from George's point of view. Odd choice.
Netflix made some very interesting decisions with the entirety of all the episodes. They missed out on some key things.
Oh my god, I forgot about this for episode 2. Miami. I forgot to write this in my notes. Miami, they edited it so it looked like Max was really upset. But if you actually look closely, the Zandvoort flag. The Zandvoort flag is on the hat.
Yeah, people on Twitter spotted that.
I noticed it whenever I was watching the episode. I just don't have it in my notes. Do not believe everything you see in Drive to Survive at all, because they showed it that Max was really upset and annoyed that Lando won. Wrong. If we actually go and watch Miami, Max was one of the first people to come up and hug him and congratulate.
Max even touched on this in one of his live streams recently. He was like, "Oh, apparently I was really upset after Miami."
Yeah, he was like, "I had a great night." Yeah, Max did speak on it, and But he also said like he doesn't talk about Drive to Survive and he doesn't watch it. But he was like apparently was really upset over Miami, but he was not. Anyway, moving back to episode 3. That just reminded me. Yeah, they did Silverstone from George's POV, which is really bizarre. And then I also have my sub note, which was, Dear Netflix, George was disqualified from Spa because they didn't show that.
They didn't. I was expecting it. I'm like, okay, now they're gonna say that he was DQ'd, and they just never have him. Like, oh,
I was ready
okay.
for like a dramatic reveal of him finding out he'd been disqualified after
I was too.
drive of a lifetime. Like, that was an incredible race. I was so thrilled for George. And like, whenever it came through that he was disqualified, I was like, my heart actually broke a little.
I was hurt.
And then they just put it in like he won. And I was like,
Yeah.
He won the race, but technically he didn't.
Yeah.
For those who are new to Formula One, because I had a DM from someone on my Instagram account who said that they were new to watching Formula One and sometimes there's a little bits that they struggle to follow along with. During Spa, which is the Belgian Grand Prix, George did a one-stop strategy, which is so rare for Spa because it is the longest track on the calendar, isn't it?
I think it's something like that, right?
I think Spa is the longest track on the calendar. And it's also very up and down and this and that. So typically it's always a 2-stop strategy for Spa. George nursed his tires like a pro, and he did it as a 1-stop strategy, which was wild. Like, I was actually sitting those last 10 laps waiting for his tire to explode.
He knocked it out of the park. He crushed it. And
he crossed the line. He won. Iconic, incredible moment. Literally one of the only times I actually think I've cried over George winning a race. I was like, oh my God, he did it! Because I remember the radios coming up where he was like, I don't need to pit. Like, I'm fine. And I was like, oh, no! But he did it. But then it came through that because of the way the race was, him and his car were underweight because the car, the driver, the helmet, everything together needs to be a certain minimum weight. Could not tell you what that weight was. I'll throw it up on the screen.
I think it's like 790 something.
I'll put it up on the screen. But George ended up being something like 2 kilograms under that weight. And he got qualified for it. So Lewis ended up winning. But Drive to Survive just decided to not show that. So
it's interesting from them.
Interesting choice.
Not the last time we'll be saying this. But interesting.
And then we have the introduction of Kimi Antonelli, where we have just Toto treating him like his son. Did you enjoy school? And then Toto also ignoring the FIA president because he was too busy watching Kimi. That made me cackle.
That was so funny from him.
I was like, as you should. As you should. Episode 4 is titled Carlos Signs. Like signs. And my top note is just Beth is going to hate this episode. Because it features
I've got beef with this episode.
It features James Viles and also a Logan Sargent fail compilation. And I got about 5 minutes in and I was like, Beth is gonna be so
But no actual Logan himself, which I thought was an interesting choice.
Just Logan smashing into a barrier.
My notes read, really like this insight into Carlos' contract. James Viles still angers me. Laughed when Carlos left him high and dry.
That was good.
Oh, that made me sad. I can't lie. That made me really upset. Whether you like James or not, that made me sad. That he was sat with like the bottle of champagne and the contract ready and everything. That
whole scene was crazy. Like, they're shutting the blinds, they're putting the champagne over ice.
I was so sad.
I'd have done that whole bottle myself. No one's hearing from me for this foreseeable future.
All my notes pretty much from this episode was quotes. So I wake up in the morning and I go to sleep at night thinking about it, to which it just ends with, calm down, James.
James is so in love.
Then my personal favorite quote, I actually think this is my favorite quote of the entire season. Carlos is being the paddock slut, said by none other than Jack Doohan.
Jack Doohan, I don't care what you say about it, he cooked with that.
And the cut to it was so sudden.
Yeah.
Like, I was flabbergasted. I was like,
If
You know
I
what's
hadn't
funny?
had seen that on Twitter before, I would have been so stunned. I'm like, wait, what?
What? Yeah, it made me giggle. And then we have James Viles talking about ending up in a hotel room with Carlos, where he described it as getting a driver to sign a contract is a lot like going on a date. You take them out for dinner and then you end up back in a hotel room.
Nice.
And I was
Was this
like,
the 18 plus episode? It wasn't, was it?
I didn't even know what
I didn't even realize which one was the 18 plus episode.
They said nothing about it.
Well, I have no
My
idea.
only thing with that episode was James Vowles. Um,
Just as a whole.
no, he really annoys me. You know, when they were in Miami, and he was like, "We have a second driver who can't even keep it on the track. He's
It wasn't.
crashing." He listed all these parts of the car that were broken by Miami. Okay, the crash in Miami. Kevin Magnussen was Serial one. It was a bit of his fault. He was the one who got a penalty for it. Okay. The other crash before Miami was Alex Albon being in the car in Australia.
Yep.
And he's like, Logan can't even keep it on the track. He keeps crashing.
James, be so for real. It happened
Just
one time.
Alex has crashed. Love Alex Albon, love. But James Vowles. Also, can we talk about the revelation of Logan Sargent sending those text messages?
Yes.
I
Oh
did
my
not
God.
even notice
So funny.
that.
That was so funny. He's like sitting around the meeting room table with like his whole phone is just like paragraphs of text.
It's like paragraph. It's like one word reply, and he sent 4 texts back.
Do you think he's texting?
Beth, can't even laugh. That is you. I will send Beth a like literal selfie, and my phone will just start going boop 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 boop, and I'm like, oh my phone has actually buzzed itself off my bookshelf once because Beth sent me that many. Beth sends like one word and then she'll send like half a sentence and then she'll send the rest of the sentence and then she'll keep doing that. And I'm like, this could all be one message. She'll manage to make, hey, what time are we filming at today? 6 different messages. It'll be like, hey, what time are we filming at today?
Question mark.
And I'm like, oh my God. Like it's
This could have been an email.
Especially whenever I'm in uni and I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. And I'm like scrambling in my tote bag looking for it. My phone's just going boop it up, boop it up, boop it up. And my lecturer's like, guys, whoever's phone that is, can we turn that off? And I'm like, sorry.
My friend doesn't know how to do complete sentences.
So you can't even make fun of Logan for that because that's you.
Do you think he was texting Kyle?
He was just having a wee
Texting Oscar, get me out of here, please.
And then anyway, we also have the return of Flavio, which they made him so. Whoa, you guys are frozen.
No, everyone's frozen on my screen too.
Oh.
No, it's just Beth.
It's Beth. It's Beth.
Every time.
You're back. You're back.
Look at that.
They made Flavio like so ominous.
I hated how they described him as like the playboy that they like the videos and stuff.
But that's how he was.
I know, but it made me uncomfortable.
But it was so funny. And my friend actually pointed this out to me. I didn't even clock it, but my friend who knows nothing about Formula One was watching it with me because she was just around at my house and I was like, tough, you're like being forced into this. And she was like, why do they keep just referring to him as like Italian? He's Italian. Did you know he's Italian? And then I started realizing like every time he's shown, they're like, the Italian man, Flavio. And I was like, whoa. So yeah, I didn't even clock that. And then a very iconic quote from him to finish the episode when it was revealed that Carlos did in fact sign with Williams. Everybody makes mistakes.
Oh, he wanted Carlos so bad. Almost
he did.
Really not bad as much.
Bro, they could have just signed him on to be another rookie driver for Alpine.
Mate, they got enough.
Just sign him on again. It's fine.
Yuki's already doing it, so why not?
Moving on, because we are swiftly running out of time.
Yeah, I know. We're going to have to speed run these.
Episode 5, Le Curse of Claire. I believe, Beth, you owe us an apology.
I've made a severe and continuous lapse of my judgment.
What have you done?
Did you not watch the podcast last week, Brooke?
I watched like half of it. I'm gonna be so for
Last
real.
week, I may have gone on a little rant about why does Monaco need its own episode? It was a very boring race.
Uh,
Um, but the episode was actually quite good. Uh,
Beth would like to retract her statement from last week, where
Yeah.
she actually went on a 10-minute rant that Monaco did not need.
10 minutes.
Oh, it was so funny. I had to cut it so much.
Brooke, it was actually quite funny.
Like
Because
I've
I
seen
actually had to cut a solid 5 minutes out of it because she was going, and then, and another thing.
I mean, yes, it's a boring race, but I think this year in particular, it did deserve its own episode.
That was my response. I was like, the
You know
grass
what? I
stands
think that
tall.
episode
Anyway.
might have the most cries in, I feel.
We also have,
Really?
we're just gonna fling through these notes. I have Charles's card declining for 11 euros. Ha 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 ha.
That was funny.
That's so real. That's so
I have
relatable.
Alex Albon and his Thai temple. I swear to God, every time he's like, I can just have him blessed. It's fine. And I respect it. And then I have Leo in capital letters.
QE.
No.
It was that one where it just kept cutting. I tried to explain this to Beth because I watched it before her. And I was like, no, Charles is like sitting eating a pizza and it just keeps cutting to Leo. And I was like, what the hell's going on?
Very
Those-
time in his life.
Those are clips from his YouTube video, I realized when I was watching it.
So funny. Then we have Charles talking about his dad, which did make me cry. And also about how he felt bad for lying to him.
Yeah.
Oh, I was really confused by my note there, but I've worked it out. Because I just have written, feel bad for Charles, a lot of stress, and Mans can't even go on a walk with Leo, let him live. I realized this was whenever he tried to walk Leo and got stopped like 10 times for a photo.
Yeah.
And then I have big ass Monaco crash raining on Charles's parade.
Yeah, he was like all ready and then he had to get re-ready again.
Re-ready, get back in that mindset. And then I have Oscar, my king, keeping him on his toes. Why did they paint Oscar like a villain?
Yeah, they're like Oscar Piastri is going to ruin Charles Leclerc's race.
Yeah.
I'm upset they didn't refer to him as his son. I think that would have been a really funny thing to put in that
They
video.
Properly like, can Oscar Piastri be the one to take it away? And I was like,
Poor Os.
Please.
poor Oscar. You know what? I would argue in this season of Drive to Survive, Oscar was villainized more than Lando was,
Yeah.
which I really don't think is necessary. I sort of
It's
went
not.
into the mindset as a Lando fan, being like, Lando's would be villainized so hard. I was not
Yeah.
expecting the Oscar hit. Anyway, and then I have yay, Charles Monaco win. Definitely didn't cry again.
Yeah.
Which they also did really dramatically, where it was like, I was blinded coming out of the tunnel. And I was like, what?
Where he saw Jesus in front of
Oh
him.
my God. Then I have episode 6.
No, skip. We don't need this episode.
Tough. Episode 6, Wheels of Fortune, which my first note is quite literally just, I'm scared. And then I have, was Zach on Wheel of Fortune? What? Where
I
is
can't
He
believe
was.
you didn't know that.
Why did I
As a
not
ch-
know this fact?
as a young teen.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
this is how
14.
he became Zach Brown, bro. He went on Wheel of Fortune and won his money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how he got his go-kart.
I was like, how did I not know this lore?
Zach Brown.
Then
lore.
I have a really funny Will Buxton quote with, and then what happens? Budapest.
Ugh.
How long is this episode? Made me
Ugh.
cackle. Made me cackle.
I love Will.
And then I just have no. I don't want to relive Hungary. Skip. Max Futrell, my king.
I was so happy to see him.
Bro, he saved the whole episode.
I have to admit, so obviously a staged conversation. Max Futrell is not sitting down with his little dinner plate and going, so Lando, have you spoken to the team yet?
No, they definitely gave them like, please talk about this, this, and this during this scene.
Bruh,
I swear
and
it's
Lando's like
filmed.
dramatic look out the window.
I swear it was filmed as well, not even at Lando's house.
I have no idea where that was
I
filmed.
Because
don't know
I
either.
swear someone pointed out that it was filmed. There was other pics of Lando that came out of him somewhere else, and it's just
Yeah,
like a
I mean,
random.
I wouldn't be
I was-
surprised.
wildly confused, and I like wanted to enjoy it because I was like, oh my God, Max Futrell, haven't seen that man since like season 3 or 4. Slay, my king, you finally got your debut back. Because the only other clip we've had of Max was them playing golf together, like really early seasons. And he's back, and I got really excited, and then I was like, no,
I don't want it.
Can we, like, I've got a degree in drama. Let me give you some lessons, please. Love you, but please.
Please.
Then I have the Lando quote with, it made Oscar feel underwhelmed and it made me feel like shit. That broke my heart a little bit. And then also the first official admission of, at first I wasn't going to let him through. I was like, Twitter's about to like a goddamn Christmas tree.
Actually,
it didn't though. I was actually very surprised. I have Horner rating Oscar higher than Lando. Please.
We all know that Christian wants Lando.
Begging, please, Lando, please come to Red Bull, please.
Please. Yeah, literally. First
challenges.
Lando's he's a good-looking young lad. He's funny. He's like, to quote Max Futrell, why have you got Christian Horner whispering sweet nothings in your ear? Just sign the contract already. Like,
but as soon as he's a challenge to Max, Christian's like, no, we don't need him anymore.
Nah. We don't want him anymore.
It was this same episode that they were like, would you rather Lando or Oscar? It's like, Oscar. It's like,
every other team.
That's what I'm talking about.
Every other team principal picked Lando.
Yeah.
Bar Christian Horner.
He's upset.
Brooke saying it like it's a revelation, but that was the exact point I was making.
But
I'm sorry.
You know what? That episode.
It's late. It's been a long day.
I'll give it that episode because I quite liked how Hungary was kind of like, they didn't paint it as anyone's fault, but they were like, Lando's kind of the more villain.
They very much painted it as the team's fault because they
did a very good job with it.
They cut to Zach Brown walking into the garage being like, we fucked that up. And then I was like, Zach, you weren't even there. Zach wasn't at Hungary.
No, he was in, I think he was in Florida.
Unless it was Monza that he said that up.
Maybe.
It was one of those
Monza, they had like the whole thing with Lando being like, if he was going to pull that move, I wouldn't have let him.
He was
being like, I shouldn't have done that on my teammate.
That's what I have written. I have Live, Laugh, Love, Monza Overtake, not Netflix making it look like Lando's plotting Oscar's murder, because they had that like frame.
Yeah, that one.
And then they like zoomed in and Lando's behind him. Like, I was like, my guy. Then I have Baku, and then just sub note. Oops, forgot Lando started 15. Ha. And then we have the whole Lando holding up Perez while Oscar pits, and then Oscar wins. And then the Lando quote at the end of the episode of, I'm taking full credit. Which, once again, I was waiting for Twitter to light up like a Christmas tree, and it didn't.
It's because Nicole Piastri distracted us all in that episode.
Love her.
Episode 7, In the Heat of the Night, my favorite episode.
Great.
I was so happy for that.
Netflix, more of the vlogs, please. That was iconic. It was whenever it was like, George really took on the influencer era.
So did Alex.
Like, I'm gonna no. George was like,
at the end of it, Alex
anything, everything, like information.
He's walking through the paddock.
Like, then we have Alex Albon that was like, this is Dave. And he was like filming a window cleaner. And he was like, oh, I forgot my stuff at the top. God's sake, Dave. Like, cackling. Lando was just tired and freaking out about having to face the media. Charles was just food Leo and Alex, and honestly respect it. And Pierre gave us nothing, but I love him.
Pierre was there. I think I only saw Pierre when he was with Charles.
But yes, so I have the vlog. Alex not knowing what age he was.
I'm 28. Am I?
So funny.
We have Lando versus his hair. We have Lando and Danny Rick with 17 crying emojis.
It needs 17.
We have Charles and his piano. We have Pierre never being on time. We have We Are the Kardashians of Formula One. And then once again, in all caps, Max Futrell, my king is back. Yep. We have Pierre and Lando paddle content. Then there's the note, Alex just videotaping the window cleaners and giving them a story. Dave, you idiot, in quotes. Lando flipping off Netflix with a cheeky little grin.
Yep.
It happens.
Love that for him.
Then I don't know who said this, who finished Lando's sentence in this. Whoever they are, they're my new favorite person. With Lando gets in the ice bath and says it shrunk from 6 to 3.
It was John.
Was it John?
Centimeters.
It was John.
Johnny beauty.
We live, laugh, love John in this household. See, I didn't actually see who it was, and then I thought it was John, and then I was like, I don't want to say it's John.
It was John.
But John then goes, centimeters? Screamed.
Iconic from him.
I was like, John, I love you. There is a reason our podcast group chat name is called the John Fan Club.
Because we love John.
Just love John.
All the men think you're here for Lando. Wrong. I'm here for John. Do you see Beth was going to order a John flag for some reason?
I am. I'm going to do it.
No, you need to.
I'm going to do it. It's in my basket. When I do my Silverstone,
I get a matching one. Get John flags matching for Silverstone. We'll fly them.
You have to.
Yes.
Yep.
Love. Right, okay, we're getting John flags for Silverstone. That's confirmed. Then I have, in all caps, I love Charles and Pierre.
Yeah.
And then this is going to be an innuendo that's either going to get us banned or not. But I have Max Verstappen with, I think he'll start on the hard. He likes to be hard. And Lando replying back with, who doesn't?
Yeah, that was great. That was so funny.
Really?
That is so... It really showcases their friendship, and I love it.
And then we had the controversial moment of the episode with George's panic attack being shown, which I then have, George's panic attack was not necessary, but at least it was only audio.
Yeah.
There is a silver lining to it, and it...
But, by the way, with the statistics, I took them down. Yes, Lando, that's how you say that word, statistics. It was said that the race temperature was 37 degrees with a 90% humidity. And that's not even in the cockpit of the car. That's just
like 60 degrees in the cockpit.
Yeah, so vile. And
it's
then
absolutely insane.
Which we spoke a lot on last week, so we won't get into it again. But we spoke a lot on our thoughts of that last week. But I was kind of annoyed that they showed it, but yeah, it wasn't necessary. And then we finished the episode with Lando Norris turning to Netflix and saying, you motherfucker, I'm so happy I'm leaving you.
Yep, love.
That's my driver.
That's our king right there.
Okay, episode 8. Episode 8 and 9 were really boring in my opinion, so I'm going to fly through these. Episode 8, Elbows Out, enter Liam Lawson. This episode is going to contain a lot of Danny Rick, and I don't think I want that life. We need to stop the rot. Christian Horner talking about Sergio Perez. Wild statement. And then I have Daniel is the best uncle. We love him.
Yep.
Then I have no regrets. I'm crying my eyes out at Daniel's final interview.
It was rough.
I actually had to pause it and like take a minute.
Yeah.
These are my two dinosaurs, and they're both called Dino Rick. I love them.
I miss him so much.
Yeah, there's actually still mascara stains in Dino Rick's head from me crying. Sorry, buddy. And then they didn't include Lando going to talk to Daniel, which
I thought they were. I think a lot of people were expecting them to.
But they didn't. And then I have Liam flipping off Perez. Ha 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 ha. That's all my notes for episode 8.
Isn't that where they showcase the crash with Sergio and Carlos as well?
Yeah.
And
I was crying my eyes out over Daniel to take any other notes.
Do you know what? It was so funny.
I was a mess.
Because they were like Christian Horner was like telling Liam off, being like, you went too hard on Checo. The next scene is Liam walking in going, I'm a Red Bull racing driver.
Yeah. Iconic. Okay, then we have episode 9, Under New Management, which, all caps, we just have Gunter!
Fact.
My king. We have Haas versus Alpine was pretty much the storyline. Live, Laugh, Love, Haas team principal. That changes very soon after this.
Yeah.
I control you every millimeter, Flavio to Jack. Me.
That's crazy.
Run, Jack, run.
Then I have Enter Ollie Behrman, and then I have Watching Ollie in Brazil hurts my heart. And then I have Slay the Alpines, God I love and hate Brazil. And then I have Whoa, 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 whoa. don't you be mean to my Ollie.
Don't even.
He was so harsh on Ollie.
Like, bro,
Don't be
people who have been
depressed.
on the track for years were going off. People who've been on the track for years were begging for a red flag, saying that it was unsafe to be out there. And he was like, it's not good enough to be spinning and going off the track. And I was like, you do it.
That
I
other
was saying the exact
driver
same thing.
got black flagged.
Yep. But Ollie wasn't good
But
enough.
it's Ollie's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Ollie Behrman, what are you doing?
Dare you.
Jesus, Ollie Behrman is
Anyway, then we have episode 10, which was the final episode called Endgame. I was very disappointed.
You want to be your Endgame?
I wanted Taylor Swift to play Taylor Swift at any point. So my notes, I just have, please God no, don't show me Brazil again.
Oh, Lando's.
Yeah. I think I cried that entire episode.
Then I have probably my other favorite quote of this series was, now Lando tried to whisper it, but that Netflix mic picked him up with Zhou Guanyu saying Max is starting right in front of me and Lando leaning to Zhou going, take him out.
That was people on Twitter were so upset about it. They were
I didn't
about
see
it.
anything about it.
I saw people, I don't know if it was TikTok or Twitter, people were upset about it. Mainly Max fans, but
Brooke, say it with me. It's a Twitter problem.
Twitter is just.
Then I have Lando after Brazil makes me want to sob, especially him talking about it, like in this little sound. I was like, I don't want.
I hope people watching that realize the words that they say to him, how badly they affected him after that.
They hurt. Words can hurt. Then I have Max chatting to Lando after Las Vegas, 10 out of 10, a king, because that was just like what he needed to hear.
Yep.
And I respect him so hard for that. And then I have reliving Abu Dhabi was a joy. And then something I didn't know that happened, Zach Brown. That was simply lovely to Christian.
I cracked up.
8 and left 0 crowns.
It's like the way Christian's like his head down. Simply lovely.
Lovely.
I was like, Zach Brown, the man that you are. The man that you are. Especially because there was such a kick up over Lando saying that in Zandvoort. And then Zach Brown saying it. I was like, yes.
That's my McLaren fan. We all say it.
And then we finish off with me uncontrollably sobbing, which I did not expect, was Toto's voice message to Lewis.
I was crying.
The video I sent you.
Oh, that was so funny.
Why didn't you tell me?
So funny. Because you told me no spoilers.
No, but I was not expecting it to be that sad.
So, yeah, that made me sob. Anyway, that is our wrap up of all the episodes and our thoughts on it. I feel like I'm definitely going to cut a fair bit of this down.
Yes, you might need to.
But that is okay. So if there's random jump cuts in today's episode, I apologize. But we went on a ramble and a half. And now it's time for our meme of the week. I'm not going because I haven't found one yet.
Sorry, before we do that, we've got a race this weekend.
Yeah, we started it with race. It's race week.
Where is everyone's podium predictions?
I'm
not letting my segment. This is my shit. I'm not letting this go.
I forgot about
It's been so long since we've done this. Okay.
Are we going for actual podium predictions or what we want? Because realistically, we don't actually know how the cars are going to operate in the long run.
Well, it's just who you think's going to be on the podium. I mean, you can do who you want.
Okay, who I want Oscar Piastri on that top step.
Okay.
I want Oscar Piastri on that.
I'm going to write them down and I'm going to put them into I'm going to make us a spreadsheet for the year and we can track
it. I love that.
Beth, goddamn spreadsheets.
Right.
Okay, well, I'm going Oscar on the top step.
Yep.
I want Lando on the second step. I want Lando in second. I want a McLaren right off the bat.
This pen is really loud. I don't know if you can hear it.
Yeah, we can.
It's so loud.
Lewis,
nice. Brooke, come on, come on.
I mean, I've got the same first two as Lucy because obviously I need Oscar to win in
Don't
Australia.
copy.
It's
You
not
said
copying.
Lando
I
like
was
2 weeks ago.
what?
Literally like 2 weeks ago, we had a conversation about this before filming, and you said Lando, and then I said no. I wanted that if Lando's leading, they papaya rules that make Oscar win, and you went, oh yeah. Stick to your OGs.
Oscar.
Okay, Oscar, Lando.
Oscar Lando. And then you know what? Carlos. He's gonna cook in the Williams. He's gonna get a podium.
Love, okay. Big bug, your opinion is wrong. Lucy might pull that one back up. I've been thinking this one through.
Do not put Ollie Behrman on the podium for his first race.
No, I'm joking. I was not going to do that.
I knew it was coming.
No, it actually wasn't. I've actually had my eyes thinking about this all day. I was like, And I'm pretty sure we had this conversation and you shouted at me for it.
I sure you.
Lando, P1. Mikey.
P1.
Lando, P1. Lewis, P2. Oscar, P3. I've been thinking about this all day. I've been, cooking it up in my brain. And that's why I'm thinking Lando, Lewis, Oscar.
That'd be a good podium.
Oscar.
Slay. Right. Time for our
meme of the week.
So I feel like I've used this one before and I don't actually know if I have or not. But this was it made me giggle because this was just Lando for the entirety of Drive to Survive.
Love, love, love.
It made me laugh.
Brooke.
Go on, Beth. No, you can go. Go on.
It's race week.
Hey, George.
But it has to be the George version.
Oh, yeah. Since he posed himself.
I wonder if he posed for the opening. I hope he does.
Yes. This is going to be me whenever I talk to any of my friends speaking about F1.
Fair.
Slay. Okay. It is time to wrap this up. We will see you next week where finally we will be talking about what happened at the Australian Grand Prix. And do you know what's even better? Do you know what I just found out?
What?
I'm going to have the house to myself during the GP weekend, which means I don't have to worry about being quiet at 4 a.m.
Oh, freaking yeah.
10 out of 10.
Because my parents were like, we're going on holiday. Do you want to come with us? And I was like, no. So,
I'm just
they asked me to go somewhere on a race week.
Crime,
No,
criminal offense.
it's not allowed.
I already warned my friend because she's staying here after Sabrina. I said, by the way, Friday morning at like 3 a.m. F1 is on. Deal with it. I don't care if you're asleep. I'm getting up to watch it.
No, I know, because I was like trying to say to my mom, I was like, I'm gonna have to like turn the TV down like really low and like I'm not gonna be able to record a race reaction. And then she was just like, we're not gonna be here. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh,
So I'm the same friend next week I'm going out with, because it's China Sprint weekend next weekend.
Yeah.
Anyway, I said you need to pick me up because we're going to Aunt's house, so we leave early. I mean, you need to pick me up before 7:30 because
I gotta watch it on.
I was like, sprint qualifying starts at 7:30. I need to be in the car for that.
You know what? I'm actually happy that the race is at like 7 a.m. because like that's a bearable time to wake up. 4 a.m. is
no.
4 a.m. is a crime.
Although Brooke won't have it as nice. If it's
You
7
said 7 a.m. for you? Oh, it's 3 a.m. for me.
3 a.m. Whatever time. I don't know what the time is.
Yeah, it will be. It'll be 3 a.m. for Brooke.
That's gonna be rough.
Have fun.
Love. Looks like someone's got the wrong passport.
It's not even my fault.
Alright, the opportunity was there and I had to take it.
That's another one of Lucy's, the opportunity.
Anyway, we need to wrap this up. It's okay, Brooke. You can just punch me in the face. I'm used to it by now. Just give me another.
I'll do on the other side so that you can have matching.
And I can look like I'm a member of KISS. Anyway, let's wrap this up and we will see you guys next week where we will be talking all things GP. Please,
And China sprint.
please, 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 please.
Getting ready for China, bro. It's going to be a busy week.
Please let Oscar do
He's so
well.
busy.
Please let Oscar do well. Please.
You've
Gotta
spoken
manifest
to the
it.
universe.
If I get an Abu Dhabi situation with Oscar Piastri again,
Nah, that Red Bull is not getting anywhere near the McLaren.
I'm making my way over to wherever the hell the Red Bull headquarters are, Milton Keynes.
Milton Keynes.
And I'm just get a little.
Yep.
That's the plan. Oscar's gonna do great. I've manifested it. I have the crystals hanging. They're ready to go. Oscar's gonna do great.
He's gonna kill it.
Feel it. Although I don't have any Oscar Piastri merch, so I might just have to go McLaren merch on Sunday instead of Lando merch.
Oh,
Maybe I'll
I
wear.
love match.
Maybe
Maybe I'll wear both.
I'll get the McLaren gilet on over the Lando jumper.
I'll layer them up.
I might cook, but so should they. Cue that outro.
We don't play. Hope you're ready for the next episode. Hold up.